everybody, and welcome back. My name is Joel, and it's good to have you guys here at A Stable Life. We got the day moving so far, so good. Temperatures today are definitely going to be a warm one. From what I am understanding, everybody on the news is saying today is going to be the hottest day of the year. We'll see. Humidities right now are in the high 90s. Right now looking at 95 to 96% humidity. Temperatures for the day are supposed to be in the low 90s, and our real feels are supposed to get well into the 100s. That's exciting. All of our horses are already fed and turned out. And how are you doing on this sweltering day?
I'm good. I'm in here in the AC.
That's good. That's good. Well, let me tell you, it definitely feels way different in here. Right now, the real feel is 93. Temperature's 86. Humidity, 95%.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, the boys are going to be stacking straw on the wagons today.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. That's for sure. What's up, Callie? You want to say something to everybody?
This is A Stable Life.
All right. There we go. Awesome stuff. All right. I'm going to grab some waters, hun, and then I'm going to get back to work. Enjoy your day. I'll be seeing you soon. Callie, up top, stay cool today, okay?
I should come with you.
Oh, maybe later, okay? Maybe after lunch we can have you go down and see the horses, okay? Okay. Well, guys, this is kind of crazy, but remember this plant? We planted it. It's wheat, and it's harvested. They harvested it. I was not here, so I didn't get any footage of wheat harvest, which is kind of rare. This is actually the first harvest for wheat that I did not experience at all. I don't know how well it did, I'll have to ask, but we are now here for straw harvest. So we are gonna be working on raking all of the rows. We are gonna be baling most of this in small square bales to be sold for people's yards, but there is going to be a couple that is going to be baled as large round bales for the cows for bedding. So we're going to be spending the majority of the day raking, but we've got plenty of other stuff going on. We've got raking, we've got baling, we've got stacking, and then of course the family shenanigans along the way. So I hope you guys are strapped in and ready for the ride, because here we go. Raking straw is just a little different than raking hay, mostly because I'm raking wider windrows from a combine. So it's a wider row than a normal disc vine would be, which is what we use to mow our hay. The windrows that come out of the combine are too wide for the baler, so I have to come through and kind of condense the rows and fluff them straight up and down for the small square baler and eventually the round baler to come through and be able to get the windrows and make them into a nice efficient bale. That also means I need to kind of rake it a little differently. When I'm raking with the small square baler in mind, you do rake things a little differently than you would with a round baler just because it's such a longer unit. There's a lot more to it. Now this is perfect for growing grass. In fact, when we are in a position where we will be tilling up some of the sections of the pasture and planting grass, what I will be doing is actually using some of these straw bales to cover those seeds up, because that is the best way to get your grass up. It's just bar none best way for it. But I mentioned that we use some of the straw for cows for bedding. You might be wondering, do we use it for the horses? No, actually, we don't use any straw for bedding for the horses. Not that you can't, you 100% can, and there's a lot of stables that do. But we find that it's not really that absorbent when it comes to bedding, and sawdust is generally a better option. And you guys know that we don't really use bedding at all. We just clean the stalls every single day. The horses don't stay in the stalls. So there's really never much of a mess, not really much of a need for bedding, unless they're staying in for a storm, in which case we have some pelletized bedding that we use that does the job just right. And it's neat to think that they're actually picking this sweet corn crop right now. On this end, this is all white corn, so it's not this exact crop they're picking, but the field behind them they are. You can see the backside, the tassels are a little darker. Good stuff right there. Look how dry it is. They're calling for us to get rain all day tomorrow. I hope we get it. Field corn's got a little bit of curling going on. Crazy seeing all these wheat fields all harvested already. My goodness. I'm sure there's a story behind that. I just don't know what it is. There's a small square bale wagon. We have a grand total of 3 on the farm. And yes, that is what we used to use to get all of our horse hay. And yes, I am happy that we do not use those for all of our horse hay anymore. Well, we use the frame, just not the full sides. My goodness, vegetables galore. Soybeans are coming up too. Just giving you guys a nice little update on how everything's looking. Wow, beautiful time of year. Beautiful time of year. Oh, I always have such fond memories of July. Lots of love about July. Kind of going down just a little fast. Ooh, this field looks like it got hit pretty hard. Combination of weeds and bugs hit that field pretty hard. But it looks like it's getting cleaned up and that it might rebound. But we've got a lot of animal damage too, which makes sense. When you're close to the woods, that's what happens. My goodness, look at this. These fields were planted the week before Daniel's wedding, before Daniel and Sadie got married. Okay. PTO! Yeah! Throttle! So we only got about a field, no, we got 2.5 fields done, and it's now lunchtime. We're back, park the tractor underneath the tree, get some shade. On my way in, I'm gonna show you guys the small square baler, because that's always exciting. We always use the 130 when it comes to small square baling, and I'm sure Daniel is very happy because the air conditioner is fixed on this. This tractor is the heaviest and most powerful we have on the farm, which is good because when you have a fully loaded, stacked wagon behind you, it can really kind of push you around, which is generally why we use the heavier tractors for small square baling. We're using a New Holland BC 5070. This is the small square baler that we have used to do all of our small square bales for all of our horse hay, back when we would do between 4,000 and 5,000 bales for the horses, and an additional 4,000 and 5,000 bales of straw on top of that. So this baler has had a lot of bales run through it. It's a good baler. We're really proud and happy of it. I mean, it has a kicker on the end of it. Shoots the bales into the wagon. We do like that system, though if we had the buildings for it, I'm sure we would probably prefer to use the stack wagons. The less manual labor you have, the faster, more efficient things can go, and the easier it is on the entire family. Looks like we got Daniel over here greasing up the knotter, making sure that that's gonna run good. Everything looking good?
Yeah, so far.
Awesome.
The round baler, we don't use it so much, so.
Yeah, that is true. It's gotten a little bit of a break. In fact, this is the first time it's being used for this year, which is crazy. Also, Peter is here.
Hi, everyone.
He's been helping out on the farm. I think he was picking this morning. What were you picking?
Cucumbers.
There you go.
Hay wagon ready too.
There you go. Getting hay wagons ready and all kinds of things. I'm sure we'll be seeing him throughout the day. So I'm gonna go grab some lunch. Let's see what we got. Hey, just out of curiosity, have you hit that like button yet? I'd greatly appreciate it if you did. Thanks.
Not right now, I'm scared. Hey, I just had lunch. We're having chicken clubs. Woo! Whoa!
So,
Are they tasting good?
She's
yeah.
not eating yet.
Oh, are you waiting for me?
W wife. W wife waiting for her husband.
What?
Lunch is over, we're back at it. I ate light because I don't want to eat heavy on a hot day like today. That's not a right thing to do. There's Pete over in the 110. They're having a little bit of problems back at the farm. You see, we have 3 wagons that we are able to put kicked small square bales onto. One of them, the sides are taken off of, and we have been using as our round bale wagon. And they also have been using to transport their water tank, for transplanting, all that stuff. The other one is, well, up in the field up there. We passed it as we were coming in. And then the third one has a very old New Holland silage wagon running gear. I mean, it's probably back in the, I'm gonna say the 60s that running gear is from. And there's no place to store those wagons that's inside. So they're outside. And from us not using small square bales, the wagons have been sitting more and more and more and being used less and less and less. To the point this year where they're really only gonna be used for straw. Well, the running gear is fully seized up. They're trying to unseize it, but things aren't really looking that good right now. So we're placing out calls to all of the neighbor farmers, but because it's a hot sunny day, everyone's out in the fields. And a lot of the farmers around here don't really answer the phone when they're hard at work in the field. Understandable. I don't like answering the phone when I'm working either, so we fully get it. So we're hoping that we'll be able to get a wagon from one of them, because there are plenty around us. Just a matter of getting a hold of somebody. Until then, we need to continue on raking, so we're gonna be hitting the ground running. Let's go! Update for you guys. The temperature has now reached 93 degrees with a real feel of 101, and the UV index is 9 out of 10, which is very high. So I think after I finish, I have this field and I have one other field on this farm. I'm gonna reapply another layer of sunscreen. I left my sun hat in the other truck, otherwise I'd be wearing that one. But the temperature is as hot and as high as it was that day I was rotary chopping. But it doesn't feel as bad today because there is a strong wind that is coming in. But the downside to that is that also means that my sweat isn't cooling me off. So I do feel different than that day that I was rotary chopping, and not in a good way. So we are just gonna keep monitoring things in regards to my physical health, and also keeping close eye on the temperature gauge on the equipment, because that is working very hard as well. So that's your current update. Returning back, raking straw. Alrighty guys, we are all wrapped up. The wind is really picking up. Temperature is the same. We are staying at 101, and my watch does a lot of my body readings right now. So according to this, my heartbeat's at 101. I feel okay though. So we've got our first load of straw heading out. I think that's going right or straight, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, he's going straight out. That is stacked by Andrew, and that looks good. Well, there is another 2 fields, but they don't want me to rake that. They're only going to be doing small square bales today, probably because of the heat and because there's thunderstorms moving in. So the good news is I'm done raking. So that's awesome. That was what Brian had to tell me. So we're going to go and hook the rake. I'm going to put a fresh coating of sunscreen on me. I'm going to grab probably 3 waters, and we're going to get started feeding horses and check on to see how they're doing for the afternoon. All right, let's get on home. When it's this hot and the tractor's running warm, don't turn it off right when you get back. You actually let it run for a little bit. That way the fan can cool everything down on the inside, and then the engine can be turned off, because when it's really hot and you turn it off, it actually turns off the fan and the coolant flowing through the engine. And the engine just sits there and bakes with the heat in it. This way the engine's at least able to slowly work the heat out of it. So give it like a minute or two. It wasn't like it was working too hard, but you know, it's my tractor. I like to give it the best options I can. Well, we are here now for afternoon feeding. There is a thunderstorm that is coming in. They're working on getting the straw finished up. They've got the first wagon back in the shop. They're currently stacking the second wagon. And one of the neighbor farmers chipped in and gave us a hay wagon to use. So they have that here to send back, and hopefully they'll get the last of the straw on that. You can see the storm clouds are starting to shape up, and the wind is picking up, which is giving us a nice relief from the heat. But I'm gonna get started measuring out, and hopefully we will time things appropriately. I would actually hate to kind of take the horses out of the rain, but if it's hail, then I'm happy that they're in the barn. So it's, you know, it's like, 'cause honestly, all of them could use a nice bath. So I'm gonna measure out, and we're just gonna kind of play things by ear, see how the weather looks, and I'll update you guys accordingly. Oh man, that's not good at all. The clip that I just recorded was only 5 minutes ago. I mean, don't get me wrong, the horses are happy, but the straw, it's too wet to bale now. So now they're probably scrambling to get what they have baled here. And that's it, they're done baling now for today. This little shower that just is stopping right now. That's it, that's it. That's farming. We haven't really gotten to show the donkeys too much on the video today, so I thought I would show the lovely Buster. Yeah, the lovely Buster. It's starting to rain a little bit. I'm down here with Honey. She's just chilling, eating her grain. We're getting lots of sun showers. We'll close this gate so she has the opportunity if she wants to head out into the rain. I'm not gonna tell her no to that. Perfect. Well, all the horses are turned out. Those, what you guys saw on video was all the rain that we got. I'm gonna let the horses kind of do their thing. Before we conclude though, it is time for our question of the day. Let's see what we got. Pushing beyond our limits. Got a question from Nana Juju. I love that name. 7573, is it your job to bathe the horses? You pointed out the salt from a sweat on a horse, or is that the owner's responsibility? So that is primarily the owner's responsibility. That being said, if we see a horse that does need a bath, we will give them a bath. It's not like we're like, oh, that horse needs a bath. Too bad it's not my responsibility. But yeah, it is the primary responsibility of the client. Got a question from Meowth900. How much time does the labor take now that you have 26 horses? I'm curious. What a great question. Feeding takes, it's different for each of us, between my mom, Gavin, and I, but I'm gonna average things out. That feeding takes, usually I'll start feeding at 9 and I'll have all of the horses turned out by around 11. And I'll start feeding at 3 and it is 5 right now. So that's about 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night on a good day. So that's about 4 hours a day is what it takes to feed the horses. That is with nothing extra. If you have to put hay out, that's extra. You have daily care, like the extra stuff going on for the horses. That's on top of that. No, daily care is included in the 4 hours. If you have extra things going on, like our projects at the horse stable or jobs going on at the farm or raking straw, you know, of course, then that's your whole day. But per day, that's 4 hours. Which doesn't sound too bad, but that is 7 days a week, 365 days a year, every single year. So that's every single day you're guaranteed a minimum of 4 hours of work. It's good stuff. But it is nice on the days where you don't want to do too much, that you basically can kind of trim your day down to the point that you can do 2 hours in the morning, take it easy in the day, and then 2 hours at night, take it easy at night. Kind of things like that. So it is nice. It does have its benefits, but you have to focus on those. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of you so much. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed the video. And if you really enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button and make sure that you're subscribed. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.